Liverpool now suffered back-to-back defeats at Anfield, losing 1-0 at home against Brighton. Very much been in a big dent in their title hopes. Stevie, I want to start with you. What's going wrong?
Oh dear, where do you want me to start? How long have we got?
Well, we got a while. It's okay.
Completely lost any sort of imagination going forward. You know, as soon as any team goes to Anfield and puts bodies behind them, or puts bodies in front of their own goal at Anfield, Liverpool have no idea how to break it down. You add that to giving silly goals away. You know, the goal really today is from a mistake from Phillips, who, no fault of his, is in over his head, no composure with the clearance, completely slices it, and somehow ends up in the back of the net. Now, the truth is, Brighton deserved to win this game. Keller had a couple of tough saves to make, and Brighton did look dangerous on the break. I wish I could say that Liverpool looked dangerous up the other end, but the truth is, maybe half an hour before the end of this, I'd already resigned myself to a 0-0, and that was just before the goal. So it's not a surprise. Brighton deserved it. Liverpool going forward are completely and utterly toothless right now, and it has to change very quickly, because I didn't think they were still in the Premier League title race, to be honest. But they have to be a little careful about the top four. They can't. Wow. They can't continue to do this for too long.
Is that how far we've fallen?
Hold on. Stevie, if they'd won this game today, they'd have been a point behind. Is that right? Point behind Man City?
Manchester United, they would be a point
behind Man United. That surely would have kept them in the race.
I'm kind of looking at the big picture, Craig. The truth is, ever since West Brom, we're talking what, 6 games, and in all 6 games, tell a lie, West Ham. Other than West Ham, every other game, they've looked like they don't know how to put the ball anywhere close to the goal. I mean, who's going to score goals? They've got nothing from the defenders coming forward. You're not getting goals from the midfield, so you're relying on basically the front three, who right now, Mane's not even playing. Firmino's completely off form, and Salah, who we thought, after 2 incredible goals at the weekend, was back, but he was actually back to where he had been previously. So, you know, where are the victories coming from? It's okay to say, well, they're only so far behind, but the fact is, they don't look like they're going to beat anybody anytime soon, and that has to be a worry.
So I think numerically they were in the title race had they won today, but I think going back to what Stevie says, one of the problems is that, yeah, they had the spud-on performance at West Ham. Yeah, they had the 7-0 at Palace, where it was a clinical performance rather than a dominating performance, which might sound strange when you scored that amount of goals, but they almost scored with every time they were in the box. But there's been the West Brom draw, the Newcastle draw, the Southampton defeat, the boring game at Old Trafford, the defeat at Old Trafford, or the boring game against Man United, and the defeat at Old Trafford in the FA Cup. There's just been too many.
Burnley at home.
Burnley at home. Brighton away when he was Brighton at home now. Brighton away, the draw when he was whinging and moaning. And you know, the trouble is this season now, and we laughed at it at the start of the season. In some sense, so did Klopp. We laughed because we thought, well, we laughed at the Aston Villa game and thought, anomaly.
Right.
With Van Dijk, it turns out it really wasn't that much. I mean, okay, that amount of goals and the deflections, but as Klopp laughed on the touchline that everything went against him that day, maybe the signs were there, the worrying signs were there, apart from the deflected goals that went against him, that high line, the fact that they're not defending as a unit, as a team, with the... You know, Stevie talks about them going forward, and that is true. They've got nowhere near the energy or the pace going forward. The way they shift the ball from back to front, from left to right, from right to left, no team could keep up with them. That pace is gone, as well as the touch in the final decision. But they're not defending with the same aggressive nature that they were. It's almost like, well, last year we did it. You know, that's the title in the bag, and, you know, we've got injuries this year, so Yeah, you know, we might get over the line, we might not. They're just not. You know, if you remember Andy Robertson and a couple and other players last year going to close that ball down. It was like in your face, closing it down, relentless. I mean, you were out of breath watching them. That's just not there. So
why isn't it there?
We don't know
what's happened.
We don't know what we're going to get from this Liverpool side, and that's the problem. That's why they've been so up and down. We don't know what they're going to get. Klopp doesn't know what he's going to get. Yes, they've had injuries. What's happened is they're, for whatever reason, whether it's the schedule, the injuries, the confidence, for whatever reason, they're not playing with the intensity that smothered teams.
Right.
I mean, literally off the bat, you know, they were on top of you with the ball and they were on top of you without the ball. It was an all-encompassing, smothering performance from Liverpool that was hard to keep up with. This year, in the main, not seen that.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.